have finished the Old Testament. 39 books done. It took us about a year and a couple months. And we're moving on to the New Testament. But before we do that, we're going to go over the chronological timeline of the Old Testament, because it gets confusing, because the Old Testament is not put in the Bible in chronological order. What is the arrangement for the Old Testament, or for the Bible? The whole Bible is this way. In what way is it arranged? Why is it the order it is? You look at your table of contents. Genre, yes. Essentially genre. I mean, like categories of different types of book. Like the poetic books are all together. So yes. The first section of the Bible is mostly the historical books, and that gets us all the way kind of through the history. And then we have the poetic books. They're all lumped together. And then we have the prophets, the major and the minor prophets. So it's literally history, poetry, prophets. Would be like the three main sections of the Old Testament. The New Testament is similar. It has like the narrative books, the Gospels and Acts, right? And then it has Paul's letters. And then it has other letters. And then it has, well, no, Paul's letters, it's not perfect. It's scattered a bit. So anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to, on this board, make the timeline. And you guys are going to stick your books up here, because they all have little cards of them. And we're going to try to lay out at least the Old Testament today.
I never got it over there.
So, here's the hack. If you want to try to remember the dates super easy, I'm going to give you the easiest, simplest dating. Now, the dating of the Bible isn't perfect. The dates doesn't even match up perfectly to reality. Like, who came up with the current date? Who came up with a system that tells us it's 2003 right now? Luke. The monks? Was it the... It was the Roman. It was the Roman Christians. I don't know maybe the monks were involved in that. Yeah, you might be right. But the Romans. So that's when were the Romans? When did the Roman Christians really get established? Before Jesus or after Jesus? When about? I should have looked this up. I don't know when they came up with the dating, but it was roughly 300 AD when the Roman society became Christian, and then they set up the dating system. It's a good dating system. It's pretty reliable, but it's not perfect.
The Bible does talk
it's actually
about dating?
No, the Bible doesn't talk about dating. The Bible doesn't have any, well, actually it does. Remember, we were looking at some of just the last few books. They are like, in the 7th year of this king's reign, in the 7th month, this happened. Remember?
I was actually messing with
I thought you were talking about like dating.
I was.
She's talking about dating.
No, I'm talking about that.
So anyway,
That was like me.
for example, 1 AD is not exactly when Jesus was born. We don't know exactly when Jesus was born, so it's kind of a guess. And then later they came out with information. It's a few years off. Yeah, Lizzie?
I have a question. Are we doing it like chronological, like when it was written or when it happened?
Great question. We're going to go chronologically as to the events when they happened, because yes, that is a factor, right? Because Moses, for example, who wrote Genesis? Answer is in my question.
I forget his name.
Moses.
Yeah, that's why I knew who it was.
Moses wrote Genesis, but he came much later. First of all, here's my hack on dating.
Sit next to the girl you like at every chance you get.
Always sit next to the girl. And I told Trevor at hack too last night. He wrote it down. But anyway, if you want to know the dates, 2000. Okay.
That was Brian's only strategy.
Yes, just sit next to the girl, and then eventually she might think, you know what, I want a boyfriend. And if you're there, you might get the chance. Just, it's quantity over quality. If you're there a lot, and she might have the thought, I need a boyfriend, and you'll be present.
Dude, I'm raising my girls to not need a boyfriend. They are complete on their own.
No, we're complete with Christ.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Paul said that
So,
secret
anyway,
is awesome.
dating, here's my guide to dating. BC, before Christ dating, what roughly, this is rough, okay? Super rough, and not exact. What roughly happened 4000 BC?
4K.
I have no idea.
Return of exile?
No.
Exile.
4,000 years before Jesus.
4,000.
Creation
not
of the
4,000.
world.
Never mind.
That was the beginning of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially creation.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay.
write for you?
I thought you
feel,
meant,
no.
I was thinking 400.
Then, roughly 2000 BC, what happened? Major character in the Bible.
Moses.
Abraham.
Abraham.
Abraham. Okay?
Oh, wait, someone
And
said
then
this to me.
roughly 1.5 thousand, this is all rough, okay? I'm doing big numbers so you can remember what happened.
Exile.
Moses. Okay? And then 1,000, what happened?
Exile.
Who's a major character? David.
I'm guessing.
I think she's gonna say exile every time in one.
And
word.
then 500,
Get it right.
500 is exile.
what happened? Exile.
I knew it. I got it right. Was that like the first exile?
After guessing
Okay.
Both exiles together probably.
So because the dating system's not perfect, this is okay as a guideline for you to think through the amount of time that things happen. And these are rounded numbers, okay? This is not exact. 4,000 years creation, 2,000 years before Jesus, Abraham, 1.5 thousand, Moses, 1,000, David, 500, exile.
Now do 0
0,
or 1.
Jesus.
1,
Is it only
Jesus.
Ground zero.
AD, okay? And
Anno
then
Domini.
all of the events in the New Testament. So when did Revelation happen?
72.
Really?
I'll look.
It's actually like 71. I don't know.
You
It's
have
not
to
BC.
Not
It's
BC.
AD, Brian.
Correct.
What?
I made that up. Brian thinks I'm right. Who
Or
wants
do
to
you
check
mean
me?
Revelation being written?
I think
or
it's
when
70.
it happened?
95. Mine says 95.
Okay.
5?
Yeah.
That's
It says
wrong.
Okay.
He's that old?
So here's,
Yeah. It says date written.
I'm gonna say, we're doing rounding, so from 1 to 100 is when the events of the New Testament happened, within a 100-year period, okay? And anyone would agree to these rough numbers, okay? Everyone debates over the specifics. Now, that's just a great thing. I can remember this. That old man, the professor that used to go to our church to teach the crazy classes, he's like Dave Duncan's great uncle or something. He catches squirrels. What is his name? He taught me this.
Why would he catch squirrels?
Because they're all over his backyard. Anyway, that was random.
Oh, like he lived by the Vanderhooks?
No, he lives by Jess and Jackie.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
I kind of remember. I was just
Anyway. All right, so what we're going to do now, we kind of have this up there. This isn't going to line up with this. But
Great. Thanks for that.
who thinks they have the first book of the Bible as far as, thank you, Lizzie, events go? The events of their book happen. Now, some of them are overlapping. We're going to include that in our thing. Who thinks they have the first book?
Who has Genesis?
Oh no. I think Corey, you know you do.
Corey, do you have Genesis? Come on up. You're the next winner on The Price is Right. All right,
So
put
Tiny,
Genesis up there.
Do you want it up and down? Like
No, I like it like this.
Okay.
Okay, we have Genesis.
Are we
Now,
gonna do rows?
Yeah, but then we're gonna, if they overlap, we're gonna go down here. Okay, so we'll see what fits. I don't know. I haven't tried this out.
I know,
So
I'm kinda
Genesis. We're starting with Genesis. We'll start with second row. Genesis has the creation account, and then it moves into some major historical events. What are some of the major historical events of Genesis?
People of Israel.
No, before that,
Oh, the flood.
the flood, right? Major event, worldwide flood. And then we have the Tower of Babel. And then we focus in on a very specific family. He's up here already. Abraham. And then the rest of the book is focused in on Abraham. Now, there is another book that we talk about that we don't know the date very well. It's in the poetic section of the Bible, right? So this is why it's not laid out this way.
This man talked about it.
We've already been spoiled by Nate, but Betsy has her hand up, so I don't know who to go with. Betsy.
I might be wrong, but Job.
Job, okay? Who has Job?
Job, Job.
Come on up. Now, Job, we don't know the date very well. Again, it's a book of
So
poetry,
do you
but
want it under them? Or like to the side a little bit?
Question mark.
just like, like not, like that. Or should we go like this?
No, not like
Yeah.
that. That's very
Yeah, it needs to be to the
unaesthetic.
side a little bit because we don't know exactly.
We don't
That's
know
good.
exactly. But definitely post,
Well done. Well done.
I would say post-flood, right? And post-Tower of Babel, right? But maybe pre-Abraham. That's kind of what we think. We talk about it not like where was Job in Abraham. We didn't really know him. But
Better?
there is another, anyway, whoa, I was almost way off track. Melchizedek.
Okay,
We
yeah,
should
you
talk
got,
about
we don't have that much
Melchizedek.
time, Brian.
Oh my, what happened?
That's gonna set
It's
the time change.
41.
What time is it really?
10:41.
What?
What? Time change. No.
It's really not.
We don't, is that really the time?
Yeah.
We only have 10 minutes.
No.
So
way.
we're gonna be doing this again. All right. Let's see how far
Let's
we
see how
can
far we go.
get.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So Genesis takes us all the way to Joseph. Then Joseph takes us where?
Who's got the next?
Where?
one?
What country does Joseph bring us to?
Egypt.
Joseph gets sold into slavery, then brings the whole family of Abraham to Egypt,
Wrong.
and then we pick up with
Romans.
Moses. Moses and the book of Exodus. So put that right there.
And Maya and I will correct them if they're not straight.
So then we have Exodus.
Well done. That
We'll at
was
least
really
get through the Pentateuch today, guys.
Leviticus. Are you going up and down?
All right. Now Exodus,
Joke takes at the same time.
and then so now we are in the books that Moses wrote. He wrote 5 books.
Deuteronomy.
So what's next?
Leviticus.
Leviticus.
Really?
Yeah.
Georgia.
Ah! Terrible things have happened.
Someone didn't take their tape magnet.
Here, I got bigger tape.
I need
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus.
numbers. Deuteronomy.
I don't have the numbers.
You got numbers.
So
Wait.
you could
That's not
put these on top of each other.
You said it would have no.
Take it, my tape is
No.
not sticking.
Okay.
But
Who's
numbers
next?
is similar
Numbers.
numbers. Got
Who has numbers?
When does Lamentations get to be thrown in there?
Never.
Just
Not now.
Lamentations is the lamenting
Of which
Yeah.
King Solomon?
exile.
Oh.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Jessica, do you want us to keep these?
Nice.
No.
All right.
Put it in here for next week or next time.
I know. What?
Who has the next book?
King. First
I only have one Old Testament.
No.
Who thinks they know? Who thinks they have the next book?
It's Joshua. Joshua wrote.
Yeah, but who has it?
I have.
Joshua.
All right. Yes, Joshua is next. Come on up.
Why is it red?
Because it's a
So-
genre.
So these are what I printed out here for you guys are kind of they look like their category. So we have the Torah or the Pentateuch, the 5 books that Moses wrote. They're big and brown.
It's
for
like
some
when
reason.
you go to.
Then we go into Joshua. Who wrote Joshua?
Joshua.
We think Joshua wrote it. And it's a historical book of the conquering of the Promised Land post them being in Egypt. They're actually post wandering, right? So this all happens during the end of slavery and the wandering in the desert. They get the law, they get the system of worship. That all happens then. Moses doesn't get to enter the Promised Land. He goes to
Heaven.
he goes to the mountain to die, and then Joshua leads the people in. They conquer, they settle the land. What happens next?
They say, we need people to rule over us.
We need judges. Judges are a bunch of different rulers that rule over them. Who has judges? Maya has judges. Put judges up there. Now, here we have another happens during. Judges covers a long time of period. There's these different judge time period, like Gideon, Ehud, Samson, and a bunch of others. So lots of stories happen. But there's a book of the Bible that happens during this period.
Is it
Who
Esther? No,
has?
Is it? No.
It's not Esther.
It's,
It's Ruth. You have
Yes.
Ruth.
I couldn't think
So
of the
put
right
it
name.
under because it happens during the judges.
You're right.
Yeah, because
You've got Solomon.
All right. Now we're gonna get to some more historical covering books.
Not yet.
hey, Albert.
What's next?
Samuel.
First Samuel.
Who was supposed to Samuel?
Yeah!
You're next.
I know next.
First Samuel. And then let's go Second Samuel up there too. Who has Second Samuel?
Wait, do I put it under?
Now it gets a little confusing.
Do I put it under or next to it?
Next to.
Let's put what's the next two books in the timeline? This is
Ezra and Nehemiah.
no.
First and Second Kings.
First and Second Kings. Okay? Who has First and Second Kings? Come on up, put them up.
But are you gonna put
Now-
them under Samuel?
No, they come after First and Second
Oh yeah,
Samuel.
we had a lost one.
Yeah, sorry, one got lost.
Good job.
We did a game with these a couple weeks ago. Now, what's the other books that's hard to put here?
Psalms, Chronicles. No. Oh, he doesn't like
Didn't
when I answer.
call on your hand.
Esther. Oh, Psalms.
No,
Chronicles.
there's some overlap.
Chronicles.
Chronicles. Okay. So some people actually, this used to be named 1, 2, 3, 4 Kings. Okay, so they're very up in a line. But then there's a book of Chronicles, which kind of repeats. It takes a different look, and it's a lot of repeat. Who has First and Second Chronicles?
Oh, I have second. No, I don't.
Baby.
Okay, so First Chronicles comes in slightly after First Samuel. So yeah, put it here.
So she's got second.
Oh,
So this go here then?
put it that way more. Yep. And then it literally, let's go like this because it like covers all this. First and Second Chronicles highlights different things. I think it has a little bit of new information, but mostly is repetitive of those other ones. But it's literally a different author. It's like the king's chroniclers, like from the king's court perspective. So we get extra details and a different look at it. It's kind of like a different gospel. It's looking at the same time. Okay, now is when it gets super exciting. So we have a choice.
To end now or
We have now, not quite. We have carried on. This has carried us to what point in this history?
yeah, I want to actually timeline this right here. I want to pull it up. So we know Genesis comes all the way to Abraham and creation, right? So then, but where does Kings go?
Where
Where
did,
does that line up?
After Moses.
Exodus.
and then we need to put Exodus to Moses.
Okay. Leviticus, he's still getting the law. Moses is getting the law.
Where does David start?
Samuel.
Yeah.
He was anointed.
So we have Samuel starts with Saul, and then David comes in midway through in his lifetime. And where does Second Kings leave us?
They're not taken.
Are they being
It's not before exile.
It is before the exile.
Well, it ends
With them being
concurrently with exile.
And-
Exile brings the end of Kings.
Well, you still have Jeremiah and Isaiah, right? Before
Yeah,
the
but they're
I think they'll fall under.
they are all falling under. So literally, this up here is all the history books except for post-exile books. So there's like Ezra and Nehemiah. Let's put those up there because then, if we put up two more, all right.
I think as far
Okay, if there's two more
Like Psalms
historical
underneath
books to go up there, and then we'll stop. And then next time we'll be putting all the prophets in the right spots. What are the two more?
Ezra and Nehemiah.
Yes, Ezra and Nehemiah. Who has Ezra? Okay, put it up to next to Second Kings. And who has Nehemiah?
it's gonna fit.
Barely.
If we just would have started Genesis a little bit over, it would
Yeah.
have been good. Perfect.
Hey, that works.
It does.
Okay, and that brings us essentially.
How many years?
I mean, we would have Malachi
What about Esther?
would be in the last book.
So we're just a little bit post-exile.
Yeah, and then like there's 100 years here of time, and then the 400 years of silence.
Where's Esther?
Where's Esther?
We're gonna fill those
We're
in
gonna
next week.
fill that in, but where do you think Esther comes in?
Ezra.
During Ezra.
During exile.
Right? Yeah, it's
Can we make guesses right now?
Maybe we
Everyone just throw them up there and
No,
then
I just
I only have New Testament books now.
I only have
So-
New Testament, right? Romans is
I haven't put a single one up.
Okay, do we need to be done or we need to
Yeah, we need to stop here.
Okay, what do you want us to do with these?
All right, bring those up.
I'm putting it back in the bag. Take your tape off. Sorry, it's not gonna last till next week. Take it off and put it back in bed. They're gonna get lost.
Well, if it
They're
is,
gonna stick together. It's gonna be annoying.
It's gonna be more than next week. So next week's baptism.
You're right. So we need to not.
So we've done the easy part now, guys. Now comes the hard part, where we're going to have to place the specific books in this biblical timeline order against the historical book. What color? I'm curious. Who has Esther and Daniel?
Blue.
What?
Red.
It's blue.
It was red.
It's yours is red.
It's red.
Pull it out. Let's put it up as history
She
then.
has it. Jessica. The red one. Yeah, the red one.
Yeah, it's red.
Esther? Ooh.
It's considered.
Okay, it's considered history. So where do we put Esther? Let's do this last one. Where's the tape?
Hey, I have a piece of tape.
Wait.
Not the
Where does Esther go? Help me out.
I don't know.
right here. Right here.
You're during exile.
Oh!
During exile.
Before or after Ezra and Nehemiah?
No, and
Before
before Ezra
or
and Nehemiah.
after?
Nehemiah is after.
Nehemiah and Ezra are both like post.
Oh, they're post-exile.
They're getting to go back.
Oh, I thought they were like during exile.
No, they are leading the people back to like repopulate and rebuild.
My tape isn't sticky.
All right, good job, everyone. Sorry we didn't get to finish. I thought this wouldn't take long.
When we ate a lot.
Yes.
I'm sorry, we ate a lot.
Welcome to another Through the Bible. Today we're continuing our Through the Bible chronology. We've handed out all the books of the Bible, and we're going to see if we can put them in timeline order by chronology, by events that happened. We've done 3 weeks ago, actually. We had lots of interruptions. The majority, the historical books. So these are the ones that kind of go in order and tell the story. Now we got to fill in all the gaps with mostly the prophets, because they prophesied during different kings and stuff. So it's going to get really busy over here. Are you ready?
Man, why are you videoing with your phone?
Because I don't have my iPad. So I've handed out all the little books to you guys, and you can get your little tapes on them, and we're going to try to stick them up on here. Now, we have a helpful tool. We have a couple helpful tools.
Bible.
Number one, even the youth group Bibles, even though they're not study Bibles, at the beginning of every book, they have the date. It has author, date written, and the summary of the content. So you can look to see when your book is. I want you guys to try to know where your book goes. So try to figure that out.
Yeah, find yours.
The one that you've been handed.
Open book test, y'all. You can do this. All y'all.
All right, I'm opening up the table of contents. So the Bible is organized how? We talked about this last time.
How is the Bible organized right now?
In its order. By genre. So in the beginning, what genre of books do we have? Starting with Genesis. Yeah. So this part was fairly easy, right? Because we had all the historical books all in the Bible order, we'll call it. So, and we got this order of the Old Testament from the Jewish people of the day, and this is how they organize it. So we have our historical books all up on the board, okay? Except for one. This book, and the way I printed these is different color. Job starts us out with a whole nother category. And what category is next? Poetic. Yes. Job is a poetic book. We don't know the exact date, but we think it's like Abraham-ish day, patriarch day, post Tower of Babel, but maybe pre-Abraham. It's actually Babel. I have been corrected.
By whom?
The internet.
Everything you see on the internet.
No, everyone says Babel now. I thought it was Babel. I've said Babel my whole life. Anyway.
Babel is how you learn another language.
So what comes after Job in Bible order?
We're going to go through the Bible. Yeah, and then we're going to place them. So who's got
So
Psalms?
next we need to put on the board Psalms. Who has Psalms? Georgia, come on down. You're the next contestant on the Bible order game.
Proverbs, be ready. Be ready, Proverbs.
Where does it go, you guys?
Who wrote the Psalms?
Everybody.
Actually, a bunch of people.
Okay, who's the main author of Psalms?
David.
David.
When did
We
David
talked
exist?
about this in the sermon today.
Nice.
Okay,
We're doing Psalms.
so David is in the time of Samuel,
Great.
right? Samuel was the priest. I mean, the prophet. No, he was the priest. Oh, wait a second.
Daniel?
No, Samuel,
Oh, Samuel was the prophet
prophet.
and priest.
Yeah. So this is our idea. I like this idea.
But wait, hold up. You know who else wrote a psalm or two? Moses. Moses wrote Psalm 90. So we.
It should go in the middle.
Rip it in half.
All right. This
All
is
right.
one
There's
of
about 1,000 years of time covering the book of the Psalms. So this is one.
Put it down. Just do like.
We can put. I would say the majority of the Psalms are during First and Second, or Second Samuel in particular.
Or
This is the actually no, because he was writing songs and stuff. Second Samuel, the break there is David's kingdom, but maybe we need to draw some lines all the way back to Moses and all the way to the sons of Korah. We're writing psalms like post-exile psalms. So, dude, the psalms cover it all. So that's a challenging one.
And do I go all the way to the end here?
Sure. All right.
I'm trying
Psalms.
really hard to make my line straight. I just realized that.
Now we need to start to figure out what's next.
Libby, come on down. She's got Proverbs.
Proverbs, come on down.
Who wrote Proverbs?
Solomon.
So when did Solomon exist?
Like,
2 Samuel.
He's the son of
David.
David.
2 Samuel.
Yep. So drop it.
Actually-
Is he in Kings too?
Yeah, a little bit. in
yeah.
Kings, right? Yeah, a little bit in Kings.
There you go. Put her down.
Yep, Second Samuel.
I don't like the blues.
He transitions and then kind of the kings.
Who's
I
got
think.
Ecclesiastes?
I got easy class.
Okay. Tell me about Ecclesiastes. Where does that go?
Obadiah.
And who wrote Ecclesiastes?
Hold on, I don't remember. Oh, wait, isn't it anonymous? No?
Ecclesiastes is about an old king
Who says everything?
Oh.
who's very wise, but he's giving his last
it
thoughts.
was anonymous.
Nope.
No, we know the king.
It's really similar to the book before it.
So, is Solomon?
Yes,
Yeah.
same guy as the majority. Okay, once again, the majority of Proverbs was Solomon, but not the entirety of it, and a lot of it were common sayings
Who's
of the
got
day.
Song of Solomon?
Now, once again, we've got another poetic book by the same guy. So
What?
this is
You
easy.
gave it away.
Oh,
Who's the author of
it's
Song?
it's in the name.
Who's the author of Song of Solomon?
Wait, I thought
Not necessarily. Some authors say it's somebody else.
Yes.
Some people say it's political rhetoric against Solomon. It depends if you think Solomon is the farm boy in the story or the evil king.
Who has Isaiah?
So,
Who's got Isaiah?
all right. So wait.
I do.
Wait.
Okay, wait.
We have completed a category of the genre of books. What category was all this? Poetic. What is the next genre?
Prophetic.
Prophetic books. So now we have the prophetic books. These are the books of prophecy. Now, these are in somewhat of an order, but there's two main categories for these books. What are they?
Major and minor prophet.
We have major and minor prophets. What makes a prophet a major prophet or a minor prophet? How cool they were?
Yes.
How long their book is.
How long their beard was? No, it's how long their book is. The major prophets had big books. The minor prophets had little books. It doesn't have anything to do with how important they were. It has to do with how big their book is. Okay? So we start with, who do you think we start with, major or minor?
Major.
Majors. So,
I like minor keys better than major keys.
is Isaiah spelled wrong, you think?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Nice.
It is.
I just saw that. We have Isaiah on our marquee up there.
I will fix it.
That's okay. I just noticed it. I didn't notice it earlier.
Isaiah, right? It's a really confusing spelling. So who's got Isaiah? Come on down.
Georgia.
Georgia, yeah. Who wrote Isaiah, Georgia?
All right.
Isaiah.
I don't know if this is the way we want to do it. Do we want to keep going in Bible order? Because it's not in chronological order anymore.
Yeah, we have to go through, we're going through and we're just gonna say Isaiah was in this time period.
Okay.
So what time period was Isaiah in?
What does Isaiah talk about? Open up to your notes on Isaiah and see the year.
Oh wait, I don't have it.
Oh, you weren't in Sunday school yet?
No.
No.
The
Sad.
earliest thing I got is
What is it?
Isaiah.
Jonah.
Found it.
Okay, when is the time period?
What kings was he during and stuff like that?
I have it.
It's 739 to 686 BC.
And what kings was he? Southern kingdom. So that's Judah. Here's the list of southern kings. What king? Hezekiah? Right, multiple kings?
Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah.
All right, Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah in this time frame. So we will put him during.
Which book? Oh, major.
Where'd it go? 2 Chronicles 23
So it's
is
more
where
like over
he
here.
starts.
So I dropped it below.
2 Chronicles chapter 23 is where Isaiah 1 hits. And then throughout the book to the end of 2 Chronicles. So the second half of 2 Chronicles is where those kings that he prophesied during are recorded. So you can see this near the end-ish of the southern kingdoms, like exiles here, right?
Be ready, Jeremiah.
So we have
Do your
all the
research.
kings.
Who's got Jeremiah?
All right,
I've got mine.
Jeremiah again. So we have a gap here, right? We know there was other prophets during this time, but Isaiah hit here because he's a major prophet.
Right, we're gonna probably fill some stuff in, right?
Yep.
All right, Faith, come up with Jeremiah. You guys help Faith out. She wasn't in Sunday school. Where should Jeremiah go?
Purple.
Right next to Isaiah.
All right, it is.
Last 5 kings.
No, it is earlier.
Judah's last 5 kings.
So Judah.
Judah's really?
Yeah, that's what my notes said.
Tell
Oh,
me
okay.
the year your notes say.
Oh yeah, 627 to 58.
Judah's last 5 kings.
So is it similar to Isaiah?
And then 627 to 586 BC.
Yes, it's similar.
But
Okay.
it's a little bit over to the right.
Yes.
So yeah.
But
drop
it lines up more with 2 Kings, I guess, according to this. But again, that's same with Chronicles. So very similar after Isaiah and the last 5 kings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, put him straight up after Isaiah.
You mean like side to side?
Yeah.
You were right, Faith. That's what
Because,
you wanted to do.
we've got Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, Manasseh, Amon, and then Jeremiah starts with Josiah. So he's 2 kings after Isaiah, and then the last 5 kings.
Is
Cool. This is really
Lamentations
helpful.
A prophetic book?
Yeah, not really.
That just
Who
seems
wrote
like a poetic
Lamentations?
book, 'cause you're lamenting.
All right, Lamentations is next.
Yeah, Lamentations.
Where is it?
Jeremiah wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Jeremiah wrote it.
Jeremiah wrote Lamentations, so Jeremiah was a prophet, so it's a prophetic book, but it is a different style
Interesting.
of poetry and
Who's got
lamenting.
Ezekiel?
I
Right, did you begin your research, sir? Where should you put it?
What?
Help out Elijah. Where should he put Ezekiel?
In the downstairs.
In the
in
first
Grace
siege of
Place.
captivity.
Yeah, it's you next
Very
door.
good.
Captivity.
Yeah, Babylon.
And during
Wait.
597.
Okay, I need to go back. Was Jeremiah northern or southern?
East.
Judah. He was a Judah.
Yeah, I think
He's east.
Okay,
I have no
Because-
idea what we're
I was like, oh, if it was the last
Yeah,
5.
he's Judah.
Okay, good. All right, what do you have? Ezekiel.
Ezekiel's during the first siege of captivity in 597.
The first siege of captivity. So near the end then of 1st and 2nd Chronicles, right?
So I think it's going to be before or after Lamentation, no, before or after Jeremiah. What do you think?
You say Ezekiel?
Yeah.
We're in
That's what
Ezekiel.
it says.
But
First
Ezekiel's
siege and
downstairs in
captivity in
Sunday
597.
So that is actually
And then it's
into the
also during
exile.
the second siege.
So
It's both.
So it's carrying over?
So it's after
Jeremiah.
2nd Chronicles and 2nd Kings.
But it's
So
also
it's-
at the second
It's
siege.
during the 70 years.
put it next to
Of
Jeremiah.
exile?
Yes.
Yeah. So
All
we
right.
just put it next to Jeremiah. And
Yes.
timeline.
Yes, that works. That works.
597 to 571.
Hosea, my hand.
Okay.
So it covers a long time span.
20 years.
So yeah, 597 to 571. So almost 30.
The very end of Second
Who's
Chronicles.
got Daniel?
Okay, that works.
Should we move it a little bit?
Yeah, I think
It's a
so.
bigger
There is some.
Overlap?
There, he prophesies the exile and then sees it happen. So he is near the time of Second Chronicles and Second Kings, but then he goes into the exile
Should we draw
time.
a little line here?
No, that's good enough where you have it because right. So here's the exile. We should make a line for this, right?
I actually-
Exile. Because all those guys are post-exile. In fact, there should be kind of a gap there in time, but this works. Okay, what's next?
Daniel.
Daniel. Where did Daniel live?
He lived in Babylon. So Babylon.
Where was Daniel born?
In Israel, at age about 15.
Yeah.
He was captured.
Yeah. So young man. So he is. So he is a
Because he
slight.
was carried off in exile.
He was carried off. So not as far back in time as Ezekiel. Like put him forward a little bit more because he was just a
He was
child.
also
and-
before Ezra. He was an
Ooh,
itty
okay.
bitty child.
So we need to go like this.
Before Ezra.
Yeah, because this is
he was
before
born
the
before
return of the exile.
Look at these smart kids. You guys are awesome.
Oh, Ezra.
Because Ezra's right here. So we
Yes.
knew we had to start before Ezra. So
So that's what I'm saying. We should have a gap there because there's a 70-year gap that we're filling now with these. That the history books.
I'm just making this line go down so it can help us visualize the exile.
If you want, maybe scoot those 3 at the end over just to give us a visual gap.
Okay, so right here.
That'll help Addison. All right. All right, we've got Daniel down, okay? So Daniel's another major prophet. What's next in the Bible?
Hosea.
I feel like all you people
And
building your timeline.
is Hosea a major or minor prophet?
All there before I start writing.
I tried.
You're like, never mind.
Yeah, like I'm gonna.
Okay, I think how long is Hosea?
Obadiah is the first.
753 to
I thought
715.
Obadiah.
I'm sorry, how many chapters is
We
the
need
book?
Hosea. Who's got Hosea?
I can't remember if it's a major
What
or minor
color
prophet.
is it? The color will tell you.
Oh,
It's a minor.
it's minor. Yeah.
Okay.
Hosea is the first minor prophet. So now, new category, new color, Hosea. But where does Hosea land?
Yeah.
753.
Oh, before exile.
So
Yes,
before,
it's
so it has to
before
be on this
exile.
side.
But wait, what
In the
king?
Northern Kingdom.
King Jeroboam.
Northern Kingdom. And what king?
King Jeroboam II.
King Jeroboam. All right, Jeroboam. That is got to be before.
It's in the northern kingdom.
It's
Ryan.
before. Yeah, it's Northern Kingdom, but it's before Isaiah.
Before Isaiah. So if we go like that, we're before Isaiah.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see.
We have stickers. We'll move it if necessary.
Yeah, what is it called again? Hosea.
What's it called again? What book are we on?
Okay, actually,
What time are we
You
on?
have an answer key?
in the time of Isaiah. Ooh. Yeah, no, it is concurrent with Isaiah.
So does it need to drop under Isaiah?
Yeah.
So just bring it like right here to kind of be.
Second Chronicles
So this is a
27 to
contemporary.
32.
Isn't that what you call it? A contemporary?
Yes, he was a
They
contemporary
were
of
alive at the same
Isaiah.
time.
Jude.
Yep,
Revelation.
I'm good with that. All right, what's next?
Jeremiah or Joel. I think.
Joel. Where does Joel
I
land?
tried to J.
Yeah. What
Oh,
about?
it's post-exile. During King Josiah's reign,
Dope, it's up there.
No, that's not. That's pre-exile.
Oh, that's-
King Josiah is
He's
pre-exile.
in Southern Kingdom.
it says post-exile or during King Josiah.
Oh, it's.
Oh, it's
contested.
contested of which
So it's
where
either
he
the
falls.
500s or the 800s.
What did your Bible say about the time frame? If you open
I'll
to
look at my
Joel,
I didn't bring my study Bible.
What does this
the
say?
youth group Bible. I should get one out. Hello, I'm right here. Joel, Amos, Obadiah.
You know, like Joel means Yahweh is
It
God.
says 835 BC and 796.
So that means it's going to be
But
more
that's
like.
if it's King Josiah. But if it's
Bring it up higher.
post-exile, like some people think.
I think-
Ryan can move it.
All right, mine is saying concurrent with First Kings.
So we put it here based on that time frame, being the 800s, but we probably need to
No.
move it a little bit.
It needs to be during First Kings.
So that's pre-exile.
Yeah, let's go with the pre-exile.
So
That's,
during King Josiah.
I think that's the more common understanding of Joel. First Kings, because you said what king?
Josiah.
King Josiah.
King Josiah.
Next after Joel.
So Amos is next.
So not straight up with the beginning of First Kings, but yeah.
Who's got Amos? Amos?
Let's put him
Amos is a silly name.
contemporary with Hosea.
All right, who's got Amos? Amos.
Albert is
All right, open book test. Tell me about the time frame.
It's during the book of Hosea.
It's a hamburger.
790 BC
It's in the
750 to 760.
It's in the same time frame as Hosea.
760 and 750.
You can drop it below.
Nathaniel's Bible says something different than our notes.
Well, no, it says it in the.
I have it as during Second Kings. Yeah.
This works.
Second
We
Second
know-
Kings 15. 2 Kings 15.
This is a shorter window, and it's within the time frame of Hosea.
Yeah, my notes say it's during the book of Hosea.
So we're gonna drop it down. Okay, Obadiah. I'm just paging through. Ooh, Obadiah's a different time frame.
There's, I have two different resources here. One's more detailed, one's less.
Who's got Obadiah?
I have Obadiah.
First Chronicles.
And Oba got to die.
All right, I think Amos is earlier.
Oba got to die.
This says concurrent with 1st and 2nd Samuel, woven 1st Chronicles and Psalms, as well as prophets Amos and Hosea.
The notes that you had us write down says concurrent
That's exactly
with
where it was.
Hosea says.
Want to move it a little bit over to catch a little bit of that? Okay.
Now I'm doubting this order because
Obadiah.
this one's more
Brian,
detailed.
then you should work on the notes we used in Sunday school and then ditch the secondary. Obadiah, come.
Southern Kingdom.
Okay, Jerusalem has fallen.
It's shortly after the
Obadiah. We're on Obadiah.
The wall.
Shortly after the
It's a little uncertain.
Jerusalem has fallen.
Oh, that's when it was written. But what is its content? Are we talking about when it was written or what it's talking about?
Oh.
The events of the book.
Okay, I gotta make
This says that's during Jeremiah and during King Jehoram.
You don't have Jeremiah?
Yeah, we do.
925
Jeremiah.
I've got 586 BC for Obadiah.
For Obadiah, mine says 853 to 841.
Wow.
That's the notes.
That's when.
So what is it
Are you
talking
reading
about?
what it was written?
Apparently this was wrote in
That's not what I
925
have.
BC.
Obadiah?
No, I have 627 to 5.
Oh, no, wait,
That's
wait.
when it's written.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
I don't have the
848
events.
to 841.
It
So
says
this
it
is-
was written.
Okay, this is important. So are we doing the events of the book?
Events.
So this was you. I had you place this here because this is when it was written, but this is not the events it's talking about.
Oh.
So where are the events it's talking about? Tell me when to
It's
stop.
during Jeremiah, during the reign of King Jehoram.
I have
853 to
I have it down the beginning of 2nd Chronicles.
Possibly during the reign.
Okay,
Line it up with 2nd Chronicles.
so we're close.
Stop!
Oh yeah, and then during Jeremiah,
That's very certain.
it's
Good boy, strong.
627 to 586.
That's when it's written.
And that's during Jeremiah.
So
it's
we
written during
dropped it a little bit
Oh,
off the exile and brought it back a little bit.
All right, what's next?
841.
Jonah.
Jonah. Who has Jonah?
Jehovah.
Obadiah is the dirge
Are
of
those gonna be
Jonah.
yours? Ty? You think Jonah?
No, I got John, I got Galatians, and I got 2 Corinthians.
All
Those
of
are
them.
all.
Jonah. Anyone?
I got Micah.
Okay.
We entered my notes.
Oh, we lost August.
Enters the.
What are the?
All right.
What's happening with Jonah?
He got eaten by a fish.
785 BC.
So it's older, and he is trying to.
Enemies of the Assyrians.
So this is roughly 500, and this is roughly 1,000.
So I have Jonah concurrent with 2 Kings 1.
So maybe it's gonna have to like hover over a little bit, hover it your left, yeah, maybe there. The beginning of 2 Kings.
Yeah, the 10th of
And
September.
Micah's next.
Micah.
But I also, yeah, that's good.
Who's got Micah?
Micah.
I have Malachi. It's mine says the contemporary of Isaiah and Hosea.
Yes, I have that too.
So you're gonna drop it underneath Isaiah and Hosea.
Near the end of Isaiah.
So tell my rest. There, that's good. Stop back, stop there. Here, stop.
742 to 687.
We know
All right.
they have faith, joy, grace, and Sarah.
Who's got Nahum?
I do.
Where's Nahum fall?
It's 100 years after Jonah.
So
Well, there's. So
Remember, we have it as Jonah part 2. It talks about what happens to Assyria and Nineveh.
why don't you just put it right after Jonah in that same
Yeah,
slot?
I like that because we talk about it that way.
Is it before exile still?
What is it?
Nahum?
Nahum?
Yep.
Yep, it is.
After the fall of Thebes in 663.
Before. So this. Remember, this is the exile of the southern kingdom, not the northern kingdom.
And then later, where's the? Should I put the northern kingdom on here too? So we understand this?
It's like in here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It happens earlier.
Happens earlier. Got it. Okay.
All right.
Who's got Habakkuk?
Habakkuk.
Okay, let's go. Where does Habakkuk live?
Hey, what about Nahum?
I just did
Nahum's right after Jonah.
Habakkuk?
Middle of 2nd Chronicles is what I have.
So drop
Yeah,
it
mine
down,
says
and then
612 to 588 BC.
so put it. Yeah, just tuck it under Micah and a little bit to the right. There you go. Who's got Zephaniah?
Zephaniah.
Let's go, Maya. Where does Zephaniah live, you guys?
in the Bible.
Oh,
Slightly before
During King
Zephaniah.
Josiah's great reform.
What are his contemporaries?
King Hezekiah.
Between 640 and 621 BC.
so where does it slide? Who's his
I
contemporary?
have 2nd Chronicles 33 and 34.
Okay, so he traces his genealogy.
Slightly before Habakkuk.
There you go.
He's
Perfect.
4 generations
Do you know
from.
that the name Zephaniah
King
means
Hezekiah.
Yahweh has hidden?
What's next?
Who's got Haggai?
Haggai.
Hey, you want to say Haggai or Haggai?
Haggai.
Haggai. So should we say look
It's just the Awana song says Haggai.
Yeah, because it helped us learn it.
Haggai.
Okay. All right, I've got, what happens during Haggai or Haggai?
It's the call to rebuild the temple and encouragement to build the temple.
So
it's
if they're
before the temple.
rebuilding the temple,
So it's before.
Who was the first prophet? Or no, who was the history writer that
Ezra.
calls to rebuild the temple? Ezra.
so we are actually,
Line him up with Ezra chapter 1.
so we got our first one. Does it matter where it goes? It can go anywhere.
It can go
here.
up there,
It can
yeah.
go with all the other
Go
minor
up high.
prophets. Like there. Stick it on. Because it's lined up with Ezra.
Oh,
All right, Haggai. Who's next?
Zechariah.
Zechariah.
What happens in Zechariah?
It's 2 months after Haggai.
Yes.
Okay.
Right after Haggai.
All right, and then Malachi, be ready, and that's what we'll finish with today. No, they're at basically the same time, so they should
It's
almost.
2 months after Haggai.
After Haggai's done.
Does it stretch into Nehemiah though? If it doesn't stretch
Let's see.
into Nehemiah, then you should.
2 months after Haggai.
It's
And
in
that's
5.
I would
to
put 'em-
518.
I would stack them because this.
Yeah,
I would stack them.
something like that.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so you can know it starts.
Because I know this guy.
Who's got Malachi?
who's got Malachi? I've got Jude.
I got your home.
Someone, Olivia, you got Malachi? So Malachi is if the one of our latest books. It's when what's oh I guess it's when it's written. That's when it's written.
That's what it's written.
I want to know the contents of it.
Yeah, no, it's last.
Okay, so do we put it like?
After Nehemiah.
Oh my word! So we
Mine
put, like,
says
put it right
Might
here.
be during Nehemiah's.
During Nehemiah?
Oh, during Nehemiah. Drop it down. There you go. That's good.
And then, for some reason, can you look up Psalm 119, verse 105? This puts that as the very last thing in the line. It goes Nehemiah.
119,
Yeah.
Did Haggai write it or something? Or Malachi?
Remember, the Psalms is a very big.
I don't know why this line puts that there.
Verse 105?
All right, how did we do?
Pretty good.
Wait, what's the verse?
Let's check this
What was
against
the
this.
verse?
What was the verse?
3.
Psalm 119, verse 105.
It's my feet, oh my
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it said.
All right, we've got Genesis 1 through 22, and then Job, and then Genesis 23 to 50, then Exodus, then Psalm 90, then Leviticus, then Numbers, then Deuteronomy, then Psalm 91, then Joshua, then Judges, then Ruth, then 1 Samuel, and then Psalms, 1 Samuel, Psalms, 1 Samuel, Psalms, 2 Samuel, Psalms, 2 Samuel, Psalms. Back and forth, lots and lots of Psalms written during that time. So good job, Psalms. 2 Samuel, Psalms, and then Kings, 1 Kings 1 through 4, and then Proverbs, yes, and then Ecclesiastes, and then Jonah. If this puts Jonah there.
Where the heck is Jonah? I didn't see
It's
it.
down there.
Oh, Jonah's down here.
Oh,
We're not terribly
yeah,
off.
we did right.
We did right.
Then Jonah, then Amos,
Yep.
then Obadiah. No, sorry. No, I was just doing the Bible from my head. Yeah, Obadiah.
Okay, Obadiah.
First Chronicles, Second Chronicles chapters, Obadiah.
So we can move Obadiah. Obadiah is really far over. Where should it
Okay.
come?
Then Joel.
So it's before Joel. Okay, got it. I moved it.
Then Joel.
Yep.
Then Isaiah.
Yep.
Then Isaiah. Then Chronicles. Then Isaiah. Then Hosea.
So Hosea needs to move a little bit. Okay.
Then Micah.
Yep.
Then
Good.
Nahum.
Yep.
Then Zephaniah.
Okay. Zephaniah needs to move a little bit.
Then Habakkuk.
Piece of paper.
Then Jeremiah.
Yep.
Then Lamentations.
Yep. Then Ezekiel.
Then Daniel.
Ah. Daniel. Okay.
Then Psalm 137. Then
Daniel
Ezekiel.
after exile, so you put all the
Then
other stuff.
Ezra.
Oh yeah.
Then Haggai.
Yep. That's the next one.
Zechariah.
Yep.
Psalms 107 and 106.
Thank you.
Ezra 5:2 to 6:22.
Esther's gonna come.
Then Esther.
Yep.
Then Ezra 7 through 10.
Okay.
Then Nehemiah.
Okay.
Then Malachi.
Now things go over a little bit.
And then Psalm 119, 105.
You guys, we only had like 3.
Woo!
Daniel is after that. Or
Look, ours looks even better than this one that I printed off the
Are
internet.
you saying it needs to be completely to the right?
Yeah.
So they both need to move a little bit? Because
Because Daniel's during exile.
Yeah, he
You
was
used
born
your
in
hometown.
Israel. That's why we had him a little bit over.
Is his life talked
He
about?
experiences the exile, right? He's
Yeah.
taken from Israel and moved over.
Okay, is this gonna stay up?
Good job, you guys. That's amazing. Come take a picture of this.
I agree.
You are.
I left
What
my
about
phone
our
out.
New Testament one?
Ryan, you are.
Hand them back in.
Maybe we'll do the New Testament just after we do the New Testament.
Yeah, we'll do this again
We'll
with the New
focus-
Testament.
Take off your tape.
This is done, that's it.
Yeah, we are done with the Old Testament, everyone. Woo-hoo-hoo! And we've also done the 400 years of silence. You did that last week.
Anyone not gonna
So next Sunday, what are we going to start with? Matthew. We're going to start with Matthew.
I'll collect these and you guys.
Hey, just put up,
Wait, I collect.
on our way out, let's just put up the New Testament. It's easy.